Daughter, I stopped what I was doing in the government of the stars to look into your eyes now, because the weight of what I showed you in secret began to seem too heavy for your tired hands. I see you sitting in this kitchen, your gaze lost in the steam of the coffee cup, feeling the silence of this house as if it were a debt. There is a vision that I drew on your soul, a destiny that I whispered in your ear on those early mornings when the cold seemed to punish. But now the world is knocking on your door with proposals that seem easier, faster, and less painful. You are on the verge of a terrible mistake, the mistake of trading the pearl that I gave you for trinkets that shine but have no eternal value. This meeting here is not by chance. It is a life mentorship coming directly from my throne, for this is the Divine Love Channel, the voice of God, and I came to tell you that what I showed you is non-negotiable. I know you're in a hurry, and that the longing for a hug or the urgency of paying a bill has made you look around. But tell me, if this word of mine is reaching your soul now, right below, in the comments section, your name, the country, state, and city you're listening from, and what time the clock hands show in your solitude, I want you to feel that I am present in your time and space, and more than that, as a sign that you recognize this as an encounter ordained by heaven, record with all the strength of your being, my Lord God, I present myself before you. I have made my dwelling here on this channel because I love you and my soul thirsts to hear your voice. Pay close attention, because if you stay with me until the last second of this conversation, I will whisper a phrase to your heart that will be your armor against all the cheap temptations of this world. Those who remain until the end will receive a release of faith that will open doors you have tried to break down alone for years. For it is written in the book of the prophet Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it will speak and it will not lie. Though it tarries, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not delay." I saw you cry secretly in the bathroom, hurriedly wiping your face so that no one would see your vulnerability, thinking the vision had died. But the vision hasn't died, it simply cannot be sold. I showed you a banquet, and now you are being tempted to settle for the crumbs that fall from the table of those who have never known my love. Why would you accept the good when I have already designed the excellent for your days? There is something I have prepared in silence that you cannot yet see, a movement being forged while you sleep. But there is a secret you haven't yet realized about these people who are trying to convince you to change course. Have you ever felt that when trying to explain what I have shown you, people look at you as if you were out of your mind? If this touch on your heart resonates with you, leave your sign of gratitude and join this family that seeks my face. Share this light with that friend who is also about to give up on their own dream. What do you feel is the biggest obstacle to holding on to my promise today? Write in the comments, "My vision is holy." Wait, because what I'm about to reveal to you about the whisper of doubt will change the way you face your tomorrow. I see you walking through the dark room, avoiding turning on the light, so as not to face the emptiness of promises that have not yet been fulfilled. The weight of the silence in that empty kitchen, where you prepared a meal for a dream that seems to have vanished, is where doubt dwells. The whisper comes like a cold wind in the cracks of your soul. What if you were wrong? What if that sign you saw was just a desire of your own heart? Your hands tremble slightly as you hold the phone, waiting for an answer that the world says will never come, and in that trembling the system around you offers you a deal. He tells you that you can be happy if you accept a little less, if you lower your standards, if you adjust that vision I gave you so that it fits the mediocre reality of those around you. But understand one thing, my daughter. Doubt is not a sign that I have abandoned you. It is a sign that the vision I have given you is too great to be understood by human logic. The world cannot tolerate those who do not sell themselves for the coins of convenience. When you refuse to negotiate what I have shown you in secret, you become a mystery to those who live only for what they can touch. I saw when you felt that tightness in your chest, when you refused a proposal that seemed like the immediate solution to your financial problems, but which I knew would kill your peace in the long run. At that moment, you felt the weight of incomprehension and the weariness in the eyes of someone who hasn't slept well for weeks. But I was there, holding your hand, so that you would not sign the contract of your own spiritual enslavement. For it is written in the book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 7, "Only be strong and very courageous, being careful to do according to all the law that my servant Moses commanded you. Do not stray from it, neither to the right nor to the left, so that you may prudently guide yourself wherever you go. The secret of your victory lies not in the speed at which you run, but in the faithfulness with which you remain on the path I have laid out. Do not stray to the left of ease, nor to the right of haste. Your destiny is drawn by hands that do not err, and each step you take in the dark is proof of love that rises like incense to my throne. You know, there is something I haven't yet told you about what happens when you decide that your yes to me is greater than any offer in this world. There is a movement in the celestial realms that begins the very moment you say no to what is merely good, so that you may embrace what is sacred. Are you ready to understand what I move behind the scenes in heaven when a daughter decides that her vision is priceless? Tell me something in the depths of your silence. In what area of your life have you felt the strongest whisper to accept a shortcut? If this voice of mine has reached your troubled heart, leave your sign of trust and sign up for this journey of faith, so you will no longer walk alone. Send this message to someone who is also being tempted to sell their purpose. Right here in the comments, sealing your decision for today. Promise sealed. Stay with me, because now I want to tell you about how your gratitude can become the seed that will unlock what the world has tried to block. And what I will show you on the altar of the seed will change the course of your story even today. I know every sacrifice you made in silence so as not to dishonor what I showed you. I know that weariness sometimes weighs on your shoulders and the urge to give up is a constant whisper, but I am here holding your face and asking you to trust in the ground I have prepared for your feet. In this moment of profound connection, I extend to you an invitation of intimacy and honor. If this word that comes from my throne has found a home in your heart, and if it is possible for you, only if your spirit feels peace, and it is possible for your hands now, transform your gratitude into a seed of love through this channel. Consider my love and that of my Son Jesus for you, and contribute using the link in the description of this video and in the pinned comment. For there you will find the sacred place where your offering of love can be deposited and consecrated before me, the Creator of all things. You can contribute any amount your soul desires. If you want a different amount than suggested, just type what your heart proposes. Always remember, I only receive what fits in your heart with joy and lightness. The amount you give doesn't matter. What truly matters to me is the heart with which you give. Because what is little for you can be spiritual bread and strength for someone receiving this message on the other side of the world. Whoever contributes any amount with a sincere heart, please remember to include your name and city with your contribution. On the first day of the following month, I will make a unique and special video on our channel and page, Divine Love, the Voice of God, where your name will be remembered, mentioned with profound gratitude, and covered by divine blessings released in prayer. For it is written in my word, in the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 9, verse 7, each one must give as he has decided in his heart, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver. Every offering made in faith is a seed planted before me, your Lord, and I will not fail to see it bear fruit in due time. I see your every secret gesture, and will reward you in the sight of all who doubted. Stay until the end of this message, because I still want to touch the depths of your heart with my voice, and show you the traps that are trying to lead you astray. Look closely at the doors that have opened in recent days, those that seem to offer an emergency exit from the pressure you have felt in your chest. The world is a master at creating illusions, at painting in gold paths that only lead to emptiness. I see when you stand before the mirror, adjusting your hair with automatic gestures, while your thoughts wander to that proposal that seems to solve everything in a snap of your fingers. It is a mirage, my daughter, an attempt by the system around you to steal the essence of what I have designed for your story. These shortcuts that now flash before your eyes like lights in an unknown city are, in fact, detours designed to make you accept a simplified and lackluster version of my promise. I know the weight of responsibility that makes the base of your neck throb with tension at the end of each day. I saw the moment you opened your banking app and felt your stomach clench, wondering how long the vision I gave you would demand so much of you. In this vulnerability, the temptation to adjust your principles to fit into a place that isn't yours becomes almost unbearable. The world tells you to be flexible, to let go of that conviction I planted in your heart, just so you can breathe for a few days. But I ask you, what good is momentary relief if it costs you the eternal destiny I have prepared for your hands? For it is written in the book of Matthew chapter 7 verse 13, "Enter through the narrow gate, because wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter through it. The wide path of shortcuts is always more crowded, full of people who have given up waiting for excellence and are content with what is merely convenient. But the narrow gate, the one that demands an unwavering stance from you, is the only one that leads to the fullness of my glory in your life. Do not be deceived by apparent ease. What is gained without divine effort has no root to sustain the storms that will come. I saw when you considered responding to that message that would compromise your peace, just so you wouldn't feel so alone in the process. I was there whispering to your spirit to guard your heart. That offer isn't a blessing in disguise. It's a planned theft against your identity. If you accept what the system offers you now, you will lose the authority to govern what I am about to deliver into your hands. Every no you say to a shortcut is a resounding yes echoing here in heaven, accelerating the time of your true harvest. But I haven't yet shown you everything that happens when you decide to walk in the silence of obedience. There's something about the solitude of this process that you haven't yet understood, and that's exactly what I want to talk to you about now. Tell me one thing. With all the sincerity of your soul, do you feel pressured by someone close to you to accept an easier path? If this guidance of mine has brought clarity to the confusion in your mind, tap the gratitude sign and become part of this family that does not compromise the values of the kingdom. Share this message with someone you know who is about to make the mistake of taking a shortcut. What do you feel is the biggest lie the world is trying to tell you today? Write it here in the comments, sealing your commitment to the truth, eyes fixed on high. Don't go away, because what I will reveal to you next about the gift I have prepared for your days of seeking will be the balm your soul needs to continue without wavering. I see the marks of weariness on your face when the morning light shines through the curtain and you realize you are still in the same place of waiting, holding on to a promise that the world insists is madness. The vision I gave you seems so distant now, and the weight of not accepting easy deals makes your soul feel exhausted, as if you were crossing an endless desert with wounded feet. You have wondered if your faithfulness is in vain, but I am here to tell you that every tear that fell on your pillow in the last 3 nights was collected and kept by me. I did not leave you without support, and that is why I prepared a resting place for your spirit. Daughter, for those days when the noise of the world's proposals shouts louder than my whisper, and the pressure to negotiate your destiny seems unbearable, I have prepared a daily remedy for your soul. If your heart feels the deep desire to plunge into even more intimate waters with me, know that I have left you a gift in the form of a journey, something I wrote with all my zeal and affection for each of my beloved sons and daughters. It is the digital book called Divine Love Devotional, The Voice of God. It was designed to be your compass in moments of doubt and your constant companion in those early mornings when the silence of the house seems to weigh on your shoulders. Imagine having my words guiding each of your steps, day after day, in a silent and profound conversation that renews your non-negotiable vision. If you feel you need this nourishment now, so you don't falter on your path, access to this gift is available at the link in this video's description and also in the comment I've pinned for you. And listen carefully. If for some reason it's not possible for you today, don't let sadness or condemnation enter your heart. Stay here with me in this message, because I will also sustain and strengthen you through this word. And so, that your heart may rest and you may not feel confused, understand that soon after you complete your registration, full access with all the instructions will arrive simply in the email you registered. There you will find all the instructions, step by step, to begin this new stage of our intimacy. For it is written in the book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 36, "For you have need of endurance, so that after you have done the will of God, you may receive what was promised." This devotional will be your daily aid, so that your patience does not run out while I prepare the banquet I promised you. Take a deep breath now, and let my peace flood this place where you are. The loneliness you have felt for not accepting shortcuts is not a sign of abandonment, but a mystery of preservation that I am working in your story. Before we continue, let me sweetly ask you, in the depths of your silence, what is your heart pleading with God for at this very moment? If this direction has brought relief to your weary soul, leave your sign of affection and subscribe so we can walk together every day. Share this light with someone who is also about to sell their peace for an empty promise. Write here in the comments, as a seal of those who do not surrender. My vision is priceless. Wait, because what I am about to reveal to you about why I allowed certain people to drift away from you will give you the clarity you needed for your next step. I see when the cold of dawn seeps through the cracks in your window and you shrink under the blanket, feeling the weight of the silence in the room as if it were a leaden cloak on your shoulders. You look to the side and realize that those who swore to walk beside you in abundance have disappeared, now that the path demands conviction and renunciation. The feeling that the sky has turned to bronze and that your prayers bounce off the ceiling and fall back into your lap is a pain few know, but I know it intimately. I was there when you felt the tremor in your hands as you opened that bill that wouldn't balance, and when the silence of your empty kitchen seemed to scream that you were alone. But listen to what your Father tells you now. This loneliness that hurts you is not a sign of abandonment. It is my seal of protection over your life. I allowed the phone to stop ringing, and the invitations to those negotiation tables to cease because I needed to separate you. What I showed you is so sacred and so pure that I could not allow impure hands to touch the seed of your destiny. There are people you love, but whose souls are addicted to shortcuts, and if they were around now, they would convince you to sell your birthright for a bowl of emotional lentils. I isolated you to preserve you. I placed you in this desert so that the only voice you could clearly hear would be mine, without the interference of others' opinions that always try to diminish the magnitude of what I am going to do. For it is written in the book of Numbers, chapter 23, verse 9, "For from the top of the rocks I see them, and from the hills I behold them. Behold, it is a people that dwells alone and shall not be reckoned among the nations." You are that people, my daughter. You were called to dwell in secret, not to be counted among those who mingle with the values of this world to obtain quick success. If you are alone today, it is because I am clearing your circle so that, when the promise is fulfilled, no one can say it was because of so-and-so, but all will know that it was the hand of your God that sustained you. Think of that afternoon when you felt lost in the crowd, on the bus or in that square, feeling that no one saw your pain. I saw it. I was there, in every accelerated beat of your heart, in every sigh of despair. I'm using this time of isolation to forge in you a spiritual strength that you wouldn't have if you were surrounded by applause. Silence is my workshop. It is in silence that I am mending the cracks that life has left in your soul, so that you may bear the weight of the glory that is to come. But I haven't yet shown you everything that this isolation is generating in the heavenly realms. There is a banquet being prepared, where only those who have passed the test of solitude will be able to sit. Tell me one thing, in the depths of your silence, who was the person you most missed having by your side on this journey, and who you now realize God has taken away? If this revelation brought peace to your troubled heart, leave your sign of affection and sign up for this journey so that we can strengthen your faith every day. Share this message with that person who also feels forgotten by heaven. Right here in the comments sealing what the Spirit is telling you now. God keeps me in secret. Don't turn away, because what I'm about to tell you about the danger of accepting only good instead of excellent will open your eyes to the opportunities that will still arrive this week. Daughter, there is a weariness that is not of the muscles, but of the soul, that can no longer bear the weight of waiting. I see it when you sit at the table, at the end of an exhausting day, and look at the opportunities that have arisen as one looks at a plate of lukewarm food. It is not the banquet I promised you, but it seems enough to silence the hunger that grips your chest. Emotional neediness and the rush to see the numbers in your bank account change are like foggy lenses that make the desert seem like an oasis. You feel that almost irresistible urge to say yes just so the world stops demanding things from you, so that the silence of your room is no longer filled with the question, "Until when?" But pay attention to what I, your Father, am telling you now In this soul mentorship, the good is often the greatest enemy of the excellent that I have reserved for you. The system of this world will always offer you the good to distract you from what is perfect. He will offer you a relationship that fills the couch but empties your spirit. He will offer you a job that pays your bills but buries your purpose. I see the sparkle in your eyes diminish when you consider accepting less than what we designed together in those early morning prayers. Don't sit at tables where you have to shrink yourself to fit in. Don't compromise the height of your vision just because those around you are afraid to fly. For it is written in my word in the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 2. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, His good, pleasing, and perfect will. Understand that my will has stages, and many of my children stop at what is merely good or pleasant, for fear that perfect will never arrive. But I am the Lord of time, and I am not a man that I should lie. If I showed you the mountain peak, why do you want to build your house halfway up, just because the land there seems flatter and easier to plow? I saw when you sighed deeply, feeling the weight of the incomprehension of others who call you proud or too difficult. They don't understand that what you carry is not arrogance, it's fidelity to the voice that called you. Excellence demands a resilience that goodness doesn't know. Goodness gives you relief for a few days, but excellence delivers a legacy for generations. Don't trade your crown for a hat that the wind can carry away. I am polishing every detail of what I will deliver to you, and if you accept what is at hand now, your hands will be too busy to receive what is coming from heaven. But there is still something you need to know about how this non-negotiable stance of yours is building the foundation of a promise that no one can tear down. Tell me something, with all the sincerity of your soul. What is the proposal before you today that you know deep down is just a consolation for your haste? If this divine clarity has illuminated your understanding, leave your sign of gratitude and sign up for this journey so that your mind remains renewed. Share this video with that friend who is about to settle for what doesn't fulfill her. What do you prefer, the relief of today or the glory of tomorrow? Write here in the comments, sealing your high standard, I choose excellence. Stay with me, because what I'm going to show you now about how your principles are the pillars that support my throne in your life will give you the strength you thought you had lost. Daughter, I see when you close your eyes and take a deep breath, trying to contain the trembling that insists on visiting your chest when the pressures of the day seem to crush your convictions. There are times when you feel like the only pillar standing amidst a landscape of ruins, where everyone around you has already yielded, already bent the knee to convenience, and already silenced their own conscience for a fleeting advantage. I see it when you look at your hands and feel the weight of integrity, a burden that often seems too lonely to bear. But listen to what your Father tells you at this moment. These principles that you refuse to abandon are not chains that bind you. They are the unshakable foundation upon which I am building the promise that no one will be able to tear down. Many times, you feel tired of being the one who always says no to what is wrong, of being the one who keeps their word, even when it means losing an opportunity that others would seize without a second thought. I saw that moment in your week when you felt a lump in your throat, having to explain, once again, that your values are not for sale. The world calls this rigidity, but I call it holiness. I am forging in you a character structure, capable of sustaining the weight of the glory I will place in your hands. If I were to give you the banquet now, without your foundation being ready, the blessing itself could crush you. Therefore, each decision to remain faithful to what I have shown you is an eternal brick that we are laying in the foundation of your new story. For it is written in the book of Matthew, chapter 7, verses 24 and 25. Therefore everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house. Yet it did not fall because it had its foundation on the rock. The rains of misunderstanding have already fallen upon you. The rivers of need have tried to overflow your heart, and the winds of cheap proposals have blown strongly against your vision. But see, you are still standing. You have not fallen because your life is not founded on the shifting sands of human opinions, but on the eternal rock that is me. Do not fear the time of construction. I am taking care that nothing contaminates what is yours. Your faithfulness in the little things, in those details that no one sees, is what guarantees your authority over the much that is to come. When you maintain your high standards, you are telling the universe that you trust the provider more than the provision. I am sealing your identity as a chosen daughter, one who does not mix, one who knows that her worth comes from heaven and not from earthly approval. But I haven't yet shown you the secret to discerning the voices that try to distract you now that the foundation is ready. There is something I need to reveal to you about the great opportunity of your life that is just around the corner. Tell me. In the depths of your silence, which principle did you feel was most tested this past week? If this divine strengthening brought vigor to your soul, leave your sign of love and subscribe so that your spiritual home is always protected by my voice. Share this video with someone who also needs courage to remain faithful. Write in the comments declaring your firm foundation, "My rock is the Lord. Remain in my presence." For what I am about to show you about how to shield your vision from the voices of distraction will be the turning point in your journey toward full fulfillment. Daughter, the noise outside seems to have increased in recent days, doesn't it? I see you standing by the window, observing the incessant movement of the street, the glare of the city lights that never sleeps, and the constant buzzing of notifications on your cell phone, each one bringing a new voice, a new opinion, a new opportunity that promises to shorten your path. The world is on sale, offering generic destinations for those in a hurry to get nowhere. But the vision I have placed in your hands is not an off-the-shelf product. It is a unique seed, watered with my own breath. And therefore it demands from you a shield that the world does not understand. There is a huge difference between a good opportunity and the greatest opportunity of your life, and if you don't learn to close your ears to the siren songs of distractions, you will end up losing the voice that truly matters. I saw when you felt that chill in your stomach, as you read that message that seemed to be the answer to all your prayers, but which, deep down in your soul, left a bitter taste of doubt. That was a distraction disguised as a blessing. The enemy of your soul will not offer you blatant evil, because he knows you would refuse it. He will offer you something almost good, something that seems right, but that doesn't have my signature. He wants you to come down from the wall of building your purpose to debate with those who have nothing to build. I called you to be like Nehemiah, who, in the midst of rebuilding the walls of Jerusalem, was invited to a negotiation meeting by those who wanted to stop the work. For it is written in the book of Nehemiah, chapter 6, verse 3, "And I sent messengers to them, saying, I'm doing a great work so that I cannot come down. Why should the work cease while I leave it and go down to you? Engrave this truth on the tablets of your heart. You are doing a great work. Your destiny, your healing, the restoration of your family, and the fulfillment of what I have shown you are projects too great to be interrupted by empty arguments or proposals aimed only at your immediate comfort. When the voices of distraction clamor for your attention, respond with the authority of one who knows that heaven is committed to your victory. I cannot descend, for my God is in control of everything. Learn to say no to good opportunities, so that you may have empty hands, ready to embrace the great opportunity that is about to break through the horizon. Distraction is the tomb of purpose. Every time you turn to listen to those who do not know my voice within you, you delay the clock of your fulfillment. But I am here to give you new discernment, an eagle's eye that sees beyond the fog of human interests. I will shield your mind, but you must choose silence instead of debate. But I have not yet shown you all that my silence is accomplishing now that you have decided to sit on the fence. There's a secret about waiting time that you haven't yet realized, something that happens in the shadows while you stand firm in your position. Tell me something. Now that everything has been said in this part of our journey, what would your soul cry out if it had only one chance before me about that which has most tried to distract you? If this word of mine has brought firmness to your steps, leave your sign of loyalty and subscribe to this channel so that my voice may be your daily shield. Share this shielded vision with that person you know is about to get lost in distractions. What invitation will you refuse today to continue building your wall? Write it here in the comments, sealing your total focus. I will not come down from the wall. Remain in my light. For what I will reveal to you next about the silence that prepares your great victory will make you understand why the answers seem to have stopped arriving. Daughter, I hear the sound of your racing heart when the house plunges into total darkness, and the only remaining sound is the insistent ticking of the clock on the living room wall. This silence that surrounds you now, which often seems like an arid desert where your prayers find no echo, is not a sign that I have forgotten you. On the contrary, silence is my most sacred workshop. It is in silence that I am working on the cracks in your soul that no one else sees. I see when you walk barefoot down the hallway, feeling the cold floor beneath your feet, and a solitary tear runs down your cheek because you feel that time is passing and the promise remains locked away in an invisible drawer. But understand, I am not only preparing your victory, I am preparing you to bear its weight. Many ask for great achievements, but few accept the process of being forged in the fire of anonymity. If I were to give you everything I showed you the moment your will cried out, you would be crushed by the responsibility. Victory without character is a trap, but victory preceded by silence is an unshakable legacy. I am using this waiting time to strip you of the need for human applause and the dependence on the approval of those who do not know your destiny. I saw when you felt the weight of weariness in your eyes at the end of this afternoon, wondering if it was worth continuing to be faithful while others seem to prosper through shortcuts. It will be worth it, my little one. Every second of this silence is building in you a spiritual muscle that will allow you to govern with wisdom when the banquet is served. For it is written in the book of James, chapter 1, verse 4, "But let patience have its perfect work, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking nothing." I don't want you to arrive at your destination lacking pieces of peace or fragments of faith. I want you to arrive whole. Therefore, don't fight the silence, immerse yourself in it with me. It is in this place of apparent absence that I am removing the roots of fear and insecurity that still try to cling to your heart. What you call delay, I call alignment. I am aligning the stars, the people, and the circumstances, but above all, I am aligning your spirit with my sovereign will. Don't let anxiety convince you that my silence is a negative. The farmer's silence doesn't mean the seed has died, but that it is breaking through the shell deep in the earth where no one sees. So is your life. You are breaking through from within, and when you emerge, it will be with a force that nothing in this world can extinguish. But tell me one thing, deep in your soul, what part of you do you feel is being most tested or crushed in this time of silent waiting? If this word has brought new breath to your weary heart, leave your sign of love and subscribe so that my voice may guide you through each dawn. Share this mystery with someone who is also about to give up because of the delay, right here in the comments accepting heaven's process. I trust in your timing. Take a deep breath and don't go away, for we have reached the moment of final revelation. There is a spiritual key that I mentioned at the beginning of this journey and that I am about to deliver into your hands, something that will seal once and for all your decision not to negotiate what I have shown you. My daughter, now that the weight of the day dissipates, and it's just the two of us in this sacred conversation, I want you to look at your hands. They may be tired, but they carry the gold of my promise, a treasure that the eyes of the world cannot measure or comprehend. Remember that at the beginning of our journey, I promised you a clear answer. I saw you holding your breath every minute of this message, searching for that key that would unlock the courage to not accept the cheap offers and deceptive shortcuts of the system around you. Well, here it is, whispered by my spirit directly to your heart to be your eternal armor against any attempt to negotiate your destiny. The phrase that heaven releases over your life today so that you never again feel that your purpose is too heavy to carry alone. As this, I can do all things through him who strengthens me. I want you to write this phrase in the comments right now as an act of faith, surrender, and spiritual possession of the vision I have given you. I can do all things through him who strengthens me. As you type each letter, feel my strength invading your soul, the tension leaving your neck, and clarity returning to your eyes. You no longer need to negotiate what I have shown you, because the strength to fulfill your destiny does not come from your bank account, your network of contacts, or the approval of those who abandoned you in the desert. It comes from me, the Lord of hosts. I am the inexhaustible source that sustains your vision when your legs falter and the world seems too big. Do not accept crumbs, for the royal banquet already has your name engraved in every place at the table. Remain attentive to my voice, for our conversations do not end at this moment. There are still many secrets that heaven wishes to reveal to those who decide to be faithful to the end. If you feel that your soul still seeks more direction and comfort, immerse yourself in the other prayers and messages that I have prepared for you in the playlist of this channel. There, in every movement, I will continue to teach you to govern your afflictions. What I began in you with so much love, I will finish with glory. Your faithfulness to what is sacred is proof that you are ready for the excellent. Your vision is my seal engraved on your forehead. Pure strength is born in the silence of my embrace, and what I have shown you no one on earth can erase.